Hey, what is up, everybody? Blue Ghost here, and we got some pretty big news to talk about. Pretty big news to talk about. So anyways, as Respawn is now announcing that they're now going to be owned by EA Games. Now, this pretty much means that EA Games now owns Respawn. And an interesting fact, I never knew that EA Games did not own Respawn from day one. I thought they always owned Respawn from day one. But I guess now is the time that EA is actually going to be owning Respawn. But, as you all know, EA definitely has a reputation of screwing everything up when it comes to video games. And especially, ever since that they made this announcement, everybody has been going batshit crazy about, you know, the future of Titanfall and everything. And I'm kind of just sitting here going like, I'm just going to wait and see what happens before I start going angry and everything. So that's pretty much where I am right now, as I watch every angry comment on Twitter saying that EA is going to screw up everything. I mean, it hasn't happened just yet, so I don't know why everybody's reacting just yet. Well, definitely they already know that EA, like, you know, screws up everything. So then, you know, they're already making their statements of saying that EA is definitely going to screw up Titanfall 3. But we're definitely going to know that Titanfall 3 is definitely a thing. But, you know, EA's reputation, they screwed up everything. But I'm just going to sit here, wait to see what happens, and then release my reactions if it's a bad change or a good change of what's going to be happening to Titanfall 3. But I'm going to be reading this letter from Vince Zampella, who is the original developer for Respawn. Pretty much the person that started Respawn, and with another person that also started Respawn. So anyways, today we announced that Respawn will be joining EA. We started Respawn with the goal to create a studio with some of the best talent in the industry and be the #1 developer of innovative games in the world. We've had success as an independent company, but as we look to see how we want to compete in the future and challenges that face us in a rapidly changing landscape, now is the time for us to combine forces with a global industry leader like EA. So basically, Respawn obviously is an independent developer. Now, as an independent developer, obviously you don't have a whole lot of resources, considering Respawn is a pretty dang small developer because, you know, how underrated Titanfall 2 is and everything. But when they're going to be combining forces with Respawn, they're going to be gaining some more resources to work with, and then they're definitely going to be able to do something bigger now that they're combined with a bigger, you know, company like EA and everything. But anyways, let's just keep moving on. While it wasn't necessary going with EA made a lot of sense, with Titanfall and Star Wars, EA has been a great development partner that supports us and doesn't interfere with our process for making games or studio culture. Now that is definitely where people are going to be going like, that's a lie. EA is going to freaking ruin everything. But I definitely know that Respawn could be telling the truth here, so I'm definitely going to continue to keep my hopes up instead of just looking down to the future saying that everything is all going to hell. I'm just going to keep my hopes up and hope for the best, and then, you know, if stuff doesn't turn out well, then, oh well, I could definitely move on to something else. You know, we've had our great one with Titanfall 2 and everything. EA will provide us with more resources, access to new technologies, and expertise that we can tap into that will help us make better games, and Respawn will retain the same creative freedom and culture we've always had. We've been talking closely with the leadership at EA, and we share their values and vision for the future of being a developer-focused company that puts the players first. I will still be running things at Respawn and will also be a part of the studio's leadership team at EA. There will be no layoffs or major organization changes within Respawn. All games currently in development are continuing as planned. Knowing Respawn, I definitely think that they are telling the truth. So, as I said before, I'm definitely going to keep my hopes up and, you know, see what happens next, because I don't think EA, like, you know, magically takes control of, like, you know, Respawn all of a sudden when EA owns them. This is a great next step for Respawn. EA and our players joining with EA will... This is a great next step for Respawn, EA, and our players. Joining with EA will give us the resources and support we need to grow and have long-term success, while still keeping our culture and creative freedom. We believe this is an opportunity to achieve more together through the unique strengths we each bring to the table. You can read the press release of this acquisition here, and there's a link, and I'll definitely leave that to the link in the description below. We are excited about the future and look forward to sharing what we're going to work on. So that's basically the end of the article from Vince. So there's definitely a long list of Q&A questions here, and I'm definitely going to be reading through some of the major ones that I think I would like to read. So Let's see. So let's start with the first one. Question, why EA? Answer, EA will provide us with more resources. I'm going to highlight that. EA will provide us with more resources. Doesn't mean that they magically take control all of a sudden. Access to new technologies and expertise in areas that Respawn values for future growth. Respawn will retain the same creative freedom we've always had. We believe in the leadership of driving EAs to exciting areas that match our own goals. This is an opportunity to achieve more together through the unique strengths we each bring to the table. Question, does this change Vince's role at Respawn? Answer, no. Vince will continue to run Respawn and will also become part of the studio leadership team at EA. That definitely is pretty exciting to hear about, actually. Question, what does this mean for new games beyond Titanfall and Star Wars? Answer, we will still have creative freedom to explore new IPs and will work with the EA studio leadership to plan future projects. And then there's going to be two more that I'm going to be reading here. Question, what's going to happen to Titanfall? This is definitely one of the biggest ones out there. Answer, Titanfall is and will remain a major part of our studio's DNA. The Titanfall team is continuing to work on the franchise, so that definitely can confirm that Titanfall 3 is going to become a thing. But with people already, you know, talking crap about EA because of this big merge and everything, they're already saying, you know, oh, they're going to ruin Titanfall 3. Let's dig up a grave for Respawn and everything. But, you know, this is definitely the big one. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. You know, when it came to Star Wars Battlefront EA, you know, it definitely was a piece of crap game, in my opinion. I definitely liked it from the start, and then, you know, it was like such a big-ass lack of content and just had this freaking major season pass in the freaking midst of it to get more maps. I mean, there was like free updates to the game, which gave in like free maps and everything, which was definitely appreciated, but the freaking season pass, my god, what a piece of crap that was. But at the same time, it can be pretty edgy to see what's going to be happening in the future, and I'm definitely worried for that, but I am going to continue to have my hopes up to see and hope for the best. Because if people are going to keep thinking negative about it, then stuff is not going to go well for them. And then the final question I'm going to be reading here is, question, how will the merger affect Respawn? Answer, there will be no layoffs or major organization changes, and titles currently in development will continue uninterrupted. And that is pretty much all the questions and answers I'm going to be reading out. So anyways, I definitely know that so many people are going to be frustrated about this, just like, you know, shocked about this and worried about the future. But take my word from it. We come to this earth as pilots. And if we continue to do what we do and retain a positive attitude and minds, then everything should turn out to be fine. And that is all I'd like to say today. So anyways, I'm going to continue to have a positive mind about the future of Titanfall with EA now buying out Respawn, and I'm just going to continue to hope for the best and see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.